Missed the last 3 games because of knee soreness. Played really well tonight. How did it feel to be back out there?
Yeah. It felt good. My bad. It felt real good to be back. I mean, it's been, what, 3 or 4 games? I don't know. But it was fun to be back, man, get up and down with the guys, and I'm happy to be back.
AD was just talking about how you and Vando really add a defensive edge to this team. Did you pride yourself in that part of your game?
Yeah, for sure. I try to give it as much effort as I can. If I don't know to read, be overly aggressive. I mean, I just try to give my all on that end, make his job a little bit easier. He has a lot of load on offense, so I try to go out there and give him all.
DLo, the last 5 games, averaging 27 points, 6 assists, and shooting about 50%, over 50% from three-point range. How hot has he been out there?
I think that's just who he is. I mean, out there playing freely and just, having a good time. And I think that's the result you get when he's out there just having fun. So I'm not too surprised about it, but it's good to see.
All right, you guys got the Clippers in 2 days. The last time you played them, you won by a couple points, held them to 103. Good defensive effort. How can you replicate that on Tuesday?
We try to come out with energy from the tip. I mean, obviously they have a bunch of guys over there that can, put up big numbers. So I think just defensively, just being locked in, staying together, making sure we're locked into our game plan, and just going from there.
Hey, Cam, obviously you're dealing with some knee soreness, right? And before that, some of the groin. It looked like you got some of your just pop back today. Did it feel like that? And what can you just take us through the last couple of weeks as you've been dealing with these symptoms?
Nah, yeah, it for sure felt like that. I think my knee bothering me helped my groins too, so I was able to for sure get into the pass lanes a little bit better, get out and run a little bit better. So overall, I felt a lot better. Hopefully, I can my body keep doing me well. So
yeah. So does it seem like just having that? I don't even know if it's a full week, but just a kind of some days to get back. Do you feel like that you're now going to be able to manage it more moving forward, or is it something you have to stay on top of?
No, I definitely have to stay on top of it for sure, but it's just feeling a lot better. I mean, in general, I just feel a lot better. Just a few days made all the difference, so hopefully we can keep this going.
AD, the story of the night, DeAngelo keeps playing high-level basketball. 34 points, 8 assists. What are you seeing from him out there?
He's playing free. He's been DLo. I mean, we know how good of a scorer he is. Over the past couple games, 4 games or so. Excuse me. He's been scoring at elite level, shooting the ball well, making the right plays, making the right reads, and doing everything that he's supposed to be doing to help us get wins.
What do you think of that play? About halfway through the fourth quarter, the fake behind the back pass, laid it up himself.
Yeah, it's a great play. I mean, obviously everyone, when you see Bron running down the floor, everyone, think the lob coming. So it reminds me of the play in Atlanta years back in 1920 when Rondo hit with the fake lob and got the layup. So, anytime Bron's running that floor, guys think the lob is coming. So it's a good time to, put out your tricks.
What does Cam Reddish add to you guys' team, and what do you lose when he's not out there?
His defensive presence. We have Cam and TP and Vando out there. It's a great group for us to do a lot of great things defensively. Cam coming back, putting that pressure on, tonight, Simons and, Brogdon, he's able to, guard at a very high level, and then offensively, attacking the basket, shooting the ball. So we definitely miss his presence when he's out.
Cam and Vando as a defensive tandem, just when they're together doing what they did tonight, just how much does that change things for you guys, especially on that end of the floor?
It changes a lot. Like I said, when you have those two guys who, very scrappy and put a lot of pressure on the opposing guards, it makes our job a lot easier. Having their backs, giving them the utmost confidence to go out there and, gamble for those steals or pressure the basketball, knowing that we, in the last line of defense to protect them. So, we even have a lot more confidence, with as the back line, knowing that, okay, them guys are not going to make it easier for the opposing guards. And now we got to do our jobs of, when they get a good contest, just rebound the basketball.
AD, there have been so many different starting lineups, and of course each one is just a little bit different. Tonight, maybe a little less point of attack defense, but you make up for it in other ways. How does that impact kind of what you do and where you have to direct, and kind of lead the units when it's a different personnel like that?
I think the only personnel was Rui, and that's just because TP didn't play. But Rui still, did a good job defensively. And Rui's a little bigger than TP, so we're able to, red down the line, me, him, and Bron, 3, 4, 5. So it gives her that opportunity. But, I like the lineup we had today. Rui coming in place of TP, and, he's able to shoot the basketball, just like TP. And, the only difference, Rui's a little bigger for offensive rebounds and defensive rebounding purposes. So, but it was a good lineup for sure.
Coming up, you guys just played them week and a half ago. So what can you take away from that game that you guys need for Tuesday?
Honestly, I don't remember that game. We played so many games. I don't know. We'll go over it a little bit tomorrow and Tuesday and see how we can get another victory.
You won by 2 or 3, held them to 103 that night. Pretty good defense.
Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of games going on. Obviously we know they're a great team, great scores, and they can score it well. But pretty good defensively, with Kawhi and Paul and Russ, being scrappy, and I know Zoo's out, but Plumlee and everybody else, so Norman. So what we do, what we did last game, go back and look at the film, see the ways we can get another win.
Would there be any benefit to, now that you have 44 games in, you guys, it seems like you've had 3 seasons in one at this point, to have that shared experience of this group and kind of take that forward versus, I know it's not up to you, but versus the front office shuffling stuff up, just recognizing that you've been through all this, and maybe that would have created deeper bonds that you could use as you go on.
I don't know. Like I said, like you said, I have no control of what front office does, but we can't worry about that in the locker room. We focus on what we have right here and try to get wins and try to win with what we have. We've shown that we're capable of doing that. It's just about just putting a string of wins together. But once you start, getting into that and all the rumors and the outside noise, it can cause some, I won't say division in the locker room, but because the players not really, but it gets in players' heads who's in those rumors and just the uncertainty of what's going to happen. So the best thing you can do is just not even worry about it and just play, and I think that's what we're trying to do right now.
You guys have won 5 of 8. Do you feel like you're starting to find that consistency that you've been looking for, or do you still feel like you've got a little bit of ways to go to find that?
Honestly, I don't know. We get some good quality wins, and then, like I said, we let the one, against Brooklyn go on Friday. So then we come in and do what we're supposed to do tonight. So we know what it takes. We just gotta put a string of wins together.
It's been on a roll the last 5 games. 34 points, 8 assists tonight. What are you seeing from him out there?
Just being aggressive, looking for a shot, and we continue to try to, find him, especially in transition. Where the defense is flattened and he's trailing. He's shooting. Good. It's definitely really good for offense.
35 fast break points. That's a season high. How much easier does that make it for you guys?
Well, the only way to get fast break points is defend, and defend without fouling, and we did that. And, it allowed us to get on the break and execute.
LeBron, you were kind of shaking your head in, I guess, amazement or being impressed by it after DLo did that behind the back move when you were running alongside him. Just one, can you just rate that move and then just speak to his talent level that he brings to your group?
Skill set is obvious, and his ball handling is very shifty and very nonchalant, but he's always trying to keep guys off balance with his game. It's just slow to quick. Game definitely keeps guys off balance, and that game, that move in transition was pretty damn good. Faking the behind the back. To me, wrapped it around to itself and laid it up in transition. That was one of our 35 fast break points. So that was dope.
Bron, Chauncey pointed out before the game that you're leading the league in fast break points. As the oldest player in the league, what's it like to know that stat?
I guess just trying to stay in top tier shape, and when I'm out on the floor, being able to get points in transition when the defense is not set. It's good for our ball club. So, and I'm just trying to be efficient too when I'm out there. Scoring at the rim or whatever the case may be, and it definitely helps when you got guys that's looking for you.
When Cam and Bando are defending the way they are, especially in that second quarter, what does that do for the team?
We pride ourselves on defense, obviously. It doesn't work out as planned sometimes, some nights, but when you have guys that's very quick with their hands and can anticipate plays and keep guys in front of them, it definitely just keeps us very solid. But those guys have great hands; they're able to get steals and deflections things. So it's great for our defense.
After losing the other night to Brooklyn, the team you're better than, what was it like tonight to come out and dominate and win in relatively easy fashion?
I wouldn't say that. Every game has its own challenge, and for us tonight, we wanted to come to, try to, play better than we did, last game, and be better offensively, not turn the ball over, not allow second chance points, and then be very efficient offensively. And I think we executed that for 48 minutes tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
DLo, what's going through your mind on that 2-on-0 when you turn around and you see LeBron behind you? And did you feel like kind of the plays that you guys were able to link up on tonight were big energy plays for the crowd?
Yeah, definitely. I was telling Mike, when you grow up, you kind of envision yourself doing the moves you practice and, the moves you have fun with on the court. And that was just something I've practiced, done 100 times, and just brought it out the bag. That's it.
Hey, DLo. Was there a conscious decision made before the game tonight that you're going to try to really fill it up, or is that just within the flow of the game? You catch fire.
That's never my intentions. I never come to the game saying I'm trying to score. It's a mentality, just having a mentality of being aggressive, and they were a little, miscommunication a lot of times where they weren't really guarding me, and when I'm making shots like that, I'll shoot it from anywhere. So just taking what they give me.
Do you think the ball movement these past 5 games and kind of the rhythm you've been able to find, have those two things kind of gone together? Do you feel like?
Hell yeah. We're a hard team to guard when we move the ball. When we take, pride in just playing together. All 4 quarters, I think we're a tough team to guard, and we did it against the Blazers tonight. Let's see if we'll do it next game. I don't know who we play, but next game.
Hey, DLo. When you have it going the way you did tonight, and you're like dribbling up the floor or something, is there a point where you say like, I'm gonna pull this because I'm feeling in the zone and I want to get the crowd going, or is it just kind of you get close to the 3-point line and have a little space and then decide, or when does that decision get made?
I mean, I've always been like that, recognizing my superpower. Everybody in the league has one. Might be defensive or just a motor, whatever it may be, but everybody has one. And for me, just ever since I was a young kid, I always found myself, kind of getting hot, throughout the game, where I might score 5-6 points right away, maybe score 10 in a quarter, or do something like that and score, 10-12 points the last 3 minutes of the game. It's just my superpower, and when I feel that and get in that mode, I definitely know that, I'm in that mode.
DLo, Coach talked about you all making sure you stay true to who you are no matter who the opponent is. What does that say about the respect level, not just on your team, but within the league?
Damn, that was nice. I like the way you delivered that. I just think you can't. This is the league that any team can take advantage of a team disrespecting them. So trying to treat every team like they can beat you and score 0-0, no matter what the score is, and just treating all your opponents with respect in this league because it can go any way.
D'Angelo, when you missed those games after the new year, when you had the bruised tailbone, and then you kind of recognized where the team was when you returned to the lineup, did that, I guess, recognition have anything to do with your uptick in play? I mean, you're averaging 27 points a game since coming back to the starting lineup.
Definitely, that's exactly what it did. Just being out, I seen us, trying really hard to get LeBron and AD the ball. When you find yourself dribbling off your foot or looking crazy, trying to force it when it's like you got to be aggressive around these guys. You compliment these guys by being aggressive, not passing to them. Like that's easy to guard. You're easy to guard when it's like that. So just watching a lot of guys on the team kind of make those decisions, and just when I came back, I was like, I'm gonna be aggressive in those instances, and I'll see how it comprehends. I mean, I'll see how it compliments them, and it's been complimenting them so far.
D'Angelo, maybe what you just said is part of this, but Darvin had hinted the other day that you had a chat at some point, and just wondered, what did you kind of try to communicate? Maybe what feedback did he get, and then how have we seen some of that, if at all, these last couple games?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just trying to be honest, and transparent, and what we see every night. We all know that starts to games, can lose you games, and we don't get off to good starts often. Third quarters can lose you games, and we struggle third quarters. So just communicating ways that, I feel like I can help, being aggressive in those areas, and seeing what I can do to help him trust me more. Just being open, and just communication was key, and he's showed a lot of respect and trust in me since then.
When was that specifically? Was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was on the road. I really don't remember.
Gotcha.
Hey, D'Lo. You talked about how you guys are a hard team to guard when you move the ball. How does the team, and you especially as one of the playmakers on the team, kind of manage the play calling versus freelancing offense, and does that play a role in how much you guys are moving the ball?
I think you earn those guys' trust, and then it becomes a thing to where, you have the credibility after you earn the trust. Last year, I feel like I earned their trust, so for me to come out and pull up in transition or shoot the shots that I know I can make and they've seen me make, I'm not looking at anybody for any reactions or validation. I'm just trusting myself, and hopefully it can be contagious around, anybody that's not.
D'Lo, you guys have won 5 of 8. And there have been a couple blowout losses in that stretch. But do you feel like you guys are turning a corner in terms of consistency right now? Or
I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that. I know it's going to be a headline or something, and I just rather not. Appreciate it, brother. Of course.
Darvin mentioned how your decisiveness is really positively impacting the offense. I was just wondering, how have you developed that skill just as a player? What do you do?
I think it's just a confidence thing. There was a few plays tonight where Max Christie was, they went zone and he was passive and he turned it over like back-to-back times or something like that. And it was just confidentless, So for him, just trying to preach that to guys, like everything I do is with confidence. If I don't want to pass, I'm not going to pass because I don't have the confidence. And you just got to kind of slow the game down and go about it that way. And that's how I have that approach, just being confident, trusting my skill, and not looking for validation, just doing it. So that's it. Yep.
Thank you.
Darvin, you talked about blocking out outside noise and stuff. D'Lo's is a name that's been in virtually every trade rumor since trade season started. What have you seen from his focus here these last 5 games? And you touched on this the other day, but what does he mean potentially to this team moving forwards?
I mean, just his skill set. First of all, he's done a wonderful job, being a pro about all of it. So much stuff that we can't control. And that said, he's just really locked in on his game, focused on ways he can help the team. communicating, competing. Tonight, was one of the most complete games I've seen him play since he's been back in a Laker uniform. He was great on defense, great with his activity, great on and off the ball offensively. He was huge and great way to respond. And, the Trailblazers have a certain record, but at the end of the day, they still got a lot of firepower over there in terms of Brogdon and Simons and Jeremy, DeAndre, all of those guys. So it was a great win, great bounce-back win for us, just, regardless of the opponent, playing the way we know we need to play on both sides of the ball. But he was right at the forefront of that, him, Bron, those guys. It was great to have Cam back, Rui. All of those guys really pitched in. It was a total team effort.
Darvin, that starting group had some success in both the first and the third quarter. Not that typical point of attack guy, maybe defensively on it, but other strengths. So what did you see from there, and does that shift in any way, kind of like the scheme or the way you play or things like that?
No, we just, one of the things we talked about in the film room, man, was just, being great in transition D, being great closing out the defensive possession with rebounds, and felt like all five guys were doing that, and they did a great job of we did an awesome job of communicating our activity. Everybody coming into a play, whether they were on the ball, guarding the screener, just ready to guard, and everyone behind that. Had a couple mishaps here and there, but for the most part, 90% of the game, we were on point. So it was good to see those five out there together. Rui stepped in and made a huge impact. He was really, really good in his minutes. Obviously, Bron. It's great to get AD under 27 minutes for the night. I don't know when the last time that's happened, but and DLo had it going. DLo was the guy spearheading everything, so it was good. It was a good start by our starting five.
D'Angelo's averaging 27 points since being put back in the starting lineup 5 games ago, and obviously he's shooting over 50%, so that's part of it. Is there anything that coincided with that shift in terms of how your overall offense has been executed that has contributed to his personal success?
I think whenever we play with pace, whenever we push the ball, we're consistent with our running habits, we're forceful with our running habits. All types of things are going to open up, and again, we stress whether you can. There's a multitude of ways to put pressure on a defense, and early in transition, really starting with great defense, and but even still, the other team makes a field goal, getting the ball out quick, rushing it up the floor, getting into what we need to get into in order to be able to explore multiple options, and I think along with that, playing with a physicality. We talk about creating an advantage through screening and rolling hard, attacking the paint. That was a focus tonight. It's a focus overall for our team, trying to dominate the paint and protect the paint defensively. But again, offensively, just playing with a lot of force and physicality. And lastly, the ball movement and being shot aggressive. Ball movement, and once you're open, being ready to shoot as the ball is on its way to you and being shot aggressive. And I think that's been the biggest thing. He's been very deliberate, very decisive in terms of what he wants to get, whether it's to set up another teammate or to attack himself.
Hey, Darvin, you intimated this last time, but with all the trade rumors out there, when guys play to their potential, do you think this roster has what it takes to accomplish the goals you want to accomplish?
Absolutely. That's why it was constructed the way it was constructed. You go through that process of discovery, and injuries, illnesses, what have you, they tend to disrupt that. And so when you constantly shuffling guys in and out of the lineup, it's kind of difficult to create continuity. We know we have a hell of a 1-2 punch with AD and Bron, and it's just guys, getting comfortable and being aggressive and not waiting for those two guys to do everything. Play your part, be supportive, but also be a threat yourself, to be deliberate, be decisive, so we can help give those guys the support they need, because once the game gets down into the waning moments, they're going to make plays that's going to put us in a good position to be successful. But leading up to that point, different guys have got to step up and not be afraid to make plays.
What did you make of Cam's minutes and the time that he was on the floor, and just especially with the look with him and Vando? I think it was in that late first quarter, early second quarter, where they were just getting deflection steals, just kind of just wreaking havoc.
That's what they do. I mean, it was great having them back out there. Tall, long, athletic wing that can make plays on the dribble, off the dribble, and also see Vando. Again, that quick twitch coming back more and more and more with each game. Just his ability to track down long rebounds, loose balls, get his hands on deflections, steals, and the same thing for Cam. Just those guys being aggressive and doing what they do, keeping it simple and keeping it consistent.
Darvin, on the 80 minutes front, he came out a little bit earlier. He normally plays the whole first quarter and then only played 14 minutes in the first half. Did you identify this as a matchup where maybe you could save some of his minutes a little bit, or was that just kind of how the game flow played out?
No, it was definitely something that I told him, whispered to him before the game even started. We're going to try to get you a little bit early if we can. And he's been carrying a huge load, playing a ton of minutes, been very available at a high level for us. So we said if the opportunity presented itself, we're going to try to see if we can shave some minutes off. And we were able to do that. And so just happy that, he was very efficient, but his minutes were very manageable and didn't take a dark turn during the game.
Darvin, you guys play the Clippers on Tuesday. Didn't play them that long ago. What do you guys need to take from that game specifically into this meeting?
I think just us, again, I always say it, how we want to present ourselves to the other 29 teams, regardless of who we're playing, us establishing an identity on both sides of the ball, us knowing, the type of standard that we need to set in order to be successful. And that involves, obviously, you do your game planning and you do your scouting and seeing, what these other teams, specifically the Clippers, our next opponent, is going to try to throw at you. But all in all, even, aside from that, I think the top priority for us is to really come out and start to establish a consistent manner in which we want to play, like how we want to defend consistently night in and night out, and how we want to attack offensively, and keep those core principles on both sides of the ball intact, regardless of who the opponent is.